here's the part where I'm going to show you guys what I really believe is the reason why this thing is so inaccurate and why it could possibly be doing better with power, but it's not. And some of you may disagree. I think it's a good possibility, and here's what I think. I think that the barrel, because this is not the shortest barrel compared to, let's say, this SNR here. You know, you're looking at about the same barrel length, but this shoots pretty accurately and this doesn't. So what's the problem? Well, this is what I think. I think the diameter, or the bore, or the inner diameter of this barrel is sloppy. That's what I think. I think it's slightly bigger than any other BB or CO2 gun that I've seen. Now, I don't have calipers or anything to measure this, right? But here is where I first noticed that this might be the possibility. And if that's what it is, then number one, the BB is not going to travel as well through the barrel. It's going to bounce around if the diameter is a little bit too big, right? And then on top of that, you're going to have air escaping out the sides, because since the barrel's not tight, there's not going to be much of a seal. So this is the experiment. And a lot of people, I don't know if a lot of people are aware, but they do sell BBs, lead BBs, such as these. Okay? And these lead BBs are slightly larger than regular BBs. Now, with that being said, lead BBs could vary in diameter between one and the other. They may not be as, and they're probably not as precise in dimension as steel BBs. So you could test out several. But here's the experiment. This is why I say, and I've done this with several other guns, not just these. But here's the experiment, okay? A regular BB, when you put it through these barrels of these guns, okay, a regular BB will drop right in, right? These lead BBs are slightly larger, so they don't just drop in when you put them in there, okay? They tend to rest right on top. Even if you pat them down like that, okay? It takes a little bit of force to really get them in there, as you can see, no matter what you do there, okay? That's with this one. Now, I'm going to use that same BB and put it up against this one here and just drop it in like that. As you can see, it doesn't just go in. It sits right on top, all right? So then you get to the Walther PPK with what I believe is a really sloppy barrel, and you drop that BB in there, and what do you know? It goes right in. Now, it's not coming out, of course, because these BBs are probably not uniform in shape, but I'm just going to do it again with another one. See? They go right in. See that? They actually run all the way through. Now, with these, you never have that. You can drop them in just like that. I'm not putting any force on it, just moving it in, and they never drop down. And even if you go to force it down, they have a hard time going in. And I've shot these. I'm gonna have to put a CO2 possibly to extract this now, but I've shot these lead BBs through these guns, and in this one sometimes it actually makes it misfire. They get jammed. Especially that this doesn't have it has a magnetic pickup there, and but they still fire, but sometimes you get a misfire. So what is the problem with these Walther PPKs? Well, it's my opinion that the barrels are sloppy. They're just too wide, and a possible solution to improving the accuracy would probably be to replace the barrel. I honestly believe that taking the barrel out of any other good Daisy or Crossman or whatever and cutting it to length and sticking it in here would probably make this gun work the way it was meant to work. But they just put in these barrels. Now, I'm not 100%. Maybe someone else. There are variations with these guns as they are with these BBs. But I'm pretty certain if someone else tried the same experiment, they'd probably get the same result. So who knows? Maybe some of you guys might want to try the same experiment if you have some lead BBs, and let us know what you get. This is what I got, and I've done this with many different CO2 guns. The BBs do not go in very easily. Lead BBs don't go very easily into these barrels. Since they're soft and they can deform, they can get pushed out with CO2 easily, and they fire, and they will penetrate just as well as, well, not as well, but they will shoot good. But with this gun, those lead BBs go right through that barrel like nothing. So that tells me that the diameter of this barrel is a lot bigger than any of these other CO2 guns out there. And that could possibly not be good either for accuracy or for power, especially for power, because now you got a lot of CO2 air blowing past the BB, the steel BBs. So a tighter barrel, I think, would improve and make this gun shoot the way it was really meant to be, to perform the way it was meant to perform. So your opinions, throw them up in the comment section.